Namaste and welcome to Nepal's Top 7 Debaters produced by Today's Youth Asia. We are in the first competition round of the Bachelor's level category. 4 participants have been selected out of the audition rounds of this category. I'd like to introduce you to our panel of judges for the competition round. We have Mr. Santosh Shah. He's the anchor and producer of the popular TV show Power Talks. He's also the world record holder as the youngest anchor of an English political talk show. Next we have Mr. Tendup Sherpa. He's the general manager at Falcon International Private Limited and he's also a senior radio host and program producer. Our next judge is Mr. Madan Lamsal. He's the chairperson of the New Business Private Limited that has 3 publications: the New Business Age Monthly, the Corporate Weekly and the Arthik Abhiyan Daily. Contestants will be judged on the basis of their clarity, content, presentation, confidence and fluency as well as their impression. The results will be declared at the end of the debate session. Now we begin with the first competition round of the Bachelor's level category and the topic is Democracy is the best system for government. Let us invite our first debater, Daba Chiring Sherpa. He'll be speaking for the motion.
A democratic system is a system which follows the basic principle of by the people and for the people. And it is one of the, it is today's system, a democratic system is today's system. It is even followed by China. I'm not literally saying that it is being followed right now, but China is moving towards democratic system gradually. And another point I have to say is that my friends may argue that in democratic system, that it is democratic, but it's not in real. But I would like to cancel that point by saying that if we follow communism, can communism address the needs of the rich, hardworking people and also bring to the fore the problems of the poor people? Can theocracy bear the philosophy of another religion? Can autocracy and oligarchy address the needs of the poor people? Can they? But I can assure you that democracy it cannot be 100%, but it can do more than other forms of systems. And there are also people saying that there is corruption in our country, there are other problems, and all is due to democracy. And I would like to stress that there are communism and other types of problems, even in communism and in any form of system, there are problems. But what we have to see is that we do not have to see that the person is corrupted or what we do is the person is corrupted, but the system is not corrupted. So what we do is that we should remove the corrupted people and not change the system directly. We cannot just say democracy is not working, now we need communism. That is not the answer. We need monarchy. That is not the answer. So saying this, and in democracy, we select representatives, we elect representatives. They work and represent our needs and problems. And when we elect those people, we have to see to it that they are working properly. We have to supervise their actions. We have to, democracy is, if people understand democracy, then they can feel democracy. With that, I would like to end my debate. Thank you.
That was a very good outfit, and that's a good impression. It's good to value one's cultural or traditional dress and culture, and that's a good thing. Now let's come to your debate. Are you nervous?
Yeah, a bit.
How nervous?
I don't know.
Very nervous or just nervous?
Up to 10. If I have to scale, then I have to say 6.
6 out of 10?
Yeah.
I think you are 9 out of 10 nervous. Because you really got me confused, like totally confused about what you're talking about. You're the first debater and you have the liberty or you have the advantage of clarifying the topic. And but you started with saying China is moving towards a democratic system.
Yeah,
that's
it is actually, even George Bush said that. It is moving towards
follow better references when it comes to China and democracy. For democracy, you need to have elections, you need to have multi-party.
I did not say
and, China is far from democratic system right now. Maybe, hopefully, they become one in the future, but that's still like, we're still too much. That's several years from now. And when you debate, you will have your opponent to counter your arguments, but You ended up countering your own arguments, which is almost like committing a suicide goal in a football. And people are saying there is corruption.
Yeah.
Corruption is a maths. Corruption is when people take away public money and government money, and they just don't go and take. It's not like taking away a painting, an abstract thing. You know, it's money. There is maths to it. There are statistics and data that says there is a high corruption in Nepal. There is high corruption in many democratic systems. So please quote the data and facts, and clarify your arguments. You know, you're in bachelor's level. You're not in grade 6, right? You are a generation that spends long hours on internet, right? All the world's data are in there. So our expectations would be very high. So if you move to the next election, you have a lot of work to do, right?
Thank you, sir.
I like the overall presentation. However, you lack the flow, and somehow there was no coherence. You gave the example of China. Yes, you are right to some extent that China is not the China of the Maoist era. From that angle, that's true, but definitely there is no democracy. So you are trying to prove your points, however, the thrust is not there. You have to improve in that.
Okay, Dawa Chiringla, I mean, most of the topics have been done, okay? The problem is your facts, because democracy is known not only for the people, by the people, of the people. So that gives you your opponent a chance to contradict you. And there's a lot of points that you're contradicting. Like in a debate, if you were giving a public speech, that's fine. But there are going to be people behind you who's going to say, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. So be safe. Get your facts straight, and do not get those no reference facts, as we say. Maybe that person had said that, maybe that person did that. Don't take those facts, get your facts correct. There's a lot of internet, there's a lot of books, TV, information is always there to get your facts. And like Santosa said, you know, there was like, you were jumping around. There was not, I mean, your speech there was a certain flow, but the topic-wise, you were like jumping from top to bottom, middle, bottom, top. So please keep that in mind.
Okay, thanks.
To present the views against the motion, we have Manita Pokhrel.
According to Cloud Paper, one has the right to be wrong of democracy, to be wrong towards democracy. So today I am being quite interested to speak against the motion regarding the topic, democracy is the best form of government. We have a very popular thinking, we have a very popular thoughts that politics is a third-class game played by fourth-class people. No, we are absolutely wrong, because it's not a game. But democracy has made it so. Democracy has made it like a reality show. Who gets the best vote will be the winner. So it should not be like that. Majority are counted, but where will the minority stay down? I would like to explain that if 51% of the people give vote to one person and 49% vote is given to next person, of course 51% voted person will be the winner. But maybe that the one who got 49% may be a very good person, but he was unable to advertise. So where does the minority lie? My question goes like this. And next thing, I like to tell that there is malfunction of power during the time of election. I know what my next participant will say, that democracy is cheap, but how is it cheap? Because we have to do election time and again. If, for example, in case of Nepal, we did in 2064 and now we are going to do it now. And the next thing is that they overuse their power also. And for example, in case of other form of government, we bow down to one ruler. They get certain facilities, they get luxurious car, they get luxurious houses. But now in democracy, we have to bow down to every single person because everyone tries to be the king. So better to be ruled by one than more and many meaningless characters. But I'm not saying that all politicians are bad. So we can follow, if we want to create the utopian society, then we need to end democracy, because democracy still is not being able to create harmonious balance between social societies. So democracy must be in that. And the next thing is that democracy is a form of government where we select, where we choose the people, we citizens choose the people. So if democracy it lies or it lives in our society, then they should have done what we have told them to do. But it is not being so. So democracy is not possible, and it is not the best form of government. Thank you.
I'd say you didn't take the opportunity because you're the second speaker. Okay? Again, I don't know if it's a fashion or if it's like a tradition, but everybody's taking contradictory topic. I mean, I kind of got confused when you were talking about the election. I thought you were supporting democracy. But only at the end when he came, I thought, huh? You know, like I said, same with Dawala. Don't try to take topics which can contradict your points. You are talking against democracy. Don't try to support democracy. Do you get the point that I'm trying to say? Yes. You're supposed to talk against, not say, okay, democracy is not good, it's not bad. You know, that's not debating. That is public speaking. Okay? So please keep that in mind. Otherwise, topic was okay.
I think the language flow was there and the confidence also. However, you try to give some good examples also why democracy is not working. So it's better to end democracy to prove your points. So I'm impressed. Thank you.
Manita, you have a good stage presence and you look confident. But when you talk about democracy not being a good system, you have to take the examples of many countries. And that was totally lacking. I like the word when you said reality TV show. This is how the democracy looks like. It's a nice comparison. It looks like, you got me convinced there, but later on you were very less convincing with your arguments and with your points. You were just throwing a few things here and there. It's a very clear topic. Democracy is the best system for government. The whole world is either ruled by it or not ruled by it, and we live under it. So it's a topic that should be of everybody's concern. You're in bachelor's level, you can get more deeper with the subject. And at the end you said democracy is not possible. We live in a democratic, half the world lives probably in the democratic system, so it is possible. It very much functional. You meant to say that it's not the best form of the government, but you slipped in there. You got confused there. It's nice to foresee the point of the future debater, but your points should be stronger, right? You just cannot guess on that. And good luck. Let's see what happens. You did very well today.
Thank you, sir.
Now I'd like to call on stage Prisma Khimire. She'll be speaking for the motion.
Why Socrates chose death over life? Why Aung San Suu Kyi chose to be imprisoned? Why those great four martyrs, they chose to give their life so easily? Why? The answer is democracy. If it wasn't for democracy, they wouldn't have done such a huge sacrifice. But it was for democracy. It was for their countrymen that they decided to do something like that. Before highlighting about democracy, let me get into the other system of government, such as dictatorship, autocracy, anarchy, theocracy, and other systems where there are no people mentioned in it. When the system is operating for the people and to the people, where are the peoples then? If the system is being made for the people, it should involve people, but democracy, it surely ensures that. My opponent friend, she said that politics is being defined as a dirty game because of democracy. But I would like to question her back again that does not happen in other system of government? French Revolution, it is the best example for me to give right now, where there was a situation when 90% of people, they died because of starvation, while the 10% they died because of indigestion. Does this make sense? Yeah, we're right. That at that point of time, there was no democracy. There was monarchy and feudalism, which made people to suffer greatly, but it was democracy. That now France is a democratic country and it's enjoying the democracy with equality as well. Second reason I would like to give is, as Abraham Lincoln said, democracy is for the people, by the people, and to the people. So it not only ensures the good governing system, it also ensures right for the people. For example, there are many countries who have been able to restore their rights only after the introduction of democracy. Name me one country that have able to ensure all these human rights without the establishment of democracy. I would again like to cut off the point that my opponent said. She said that she talked about minority, and as soon as she talked about minority, she again jumped that power should be given to one single person. What kind of absurd answer is that? She's again cutting her point herself. So democracy provides right for people and right to equality. That's my point. Thank you.
I am very much impressed. It's very logical. You have given very good examples also, and your body language, your facial expression, and overall it's really good presentation. Excellent. Thank you.
Again, there was some slight contradiction. I loved your opening. Unfortunately, I found it very public speaking, not so much a debate, because I think there was a lot of people before you who you did contradict later on, or you did talk about what points they had made mistakes in. But still, if you had taken that time, if it was a public speaking, that opening would have been perfect. But because this is a debate, you have to remember that, you're not trying to impress us with your language. You're trying to impress us with your facts, okay? So please keep that in mind. And also, I know it's fundamentally accepted to use word yeah, okay? But it would have given more impact if you said yes instead of yeah, yes. This is a common language, commonly used word, but especially when you're debating for Nepal's top, you shouldn't use words like yeah, okay? Yes would have given a much better effect.
Professor, very good. I'm very impressed. A very good opening, good examples. And you're the first one to mention the other forms of governments except for democracy, which is what exactly I was looking at. At the same time, you need to add more strength to your presentation. Today you're confident, but you're not convinced that you're confident. And those are two different things. You may look confident, but you may not be convinced that you're confident. You may not be confident, but you're convinced that you're confident. Those two are very, contradicting status of mind. And that appears on the face when you speak in public. So add more confidence to your presentation.
I'll try to improve it.
You'll do great.
Definitely. Thank you.
Now we have Prashun Jajodia. He'll be speaking against the motion.
I'd rather obey a fine lion, which is stronger than myself, than 200 rats, which are my equals. This was a quote by Voltaire, a philosopher. I'll explain this quote a lot more afterwards, but let me get to the point here. Here, the people who are speaking for the topic are talking about theoretical democracy. Whatever characteristics they mention, that is not practically implemented anywhere, except for a country which has very less population, that is less than 1,000, where everybody can gather together and make decisions. Now, in representative democracy, let's look at representative democracy because it's all over the world right now. What happens is people elect officials, and these officials are not the representative of the people. Look anywhere, they are not the representative of the people, and I'll tell you how. It's because these people, for example, you say it's represented by everybody, but these people, according to different philosophers, these people are always the rich guys. What represents? Because, for example, let's look at the 2008 White House campaign. For presidential elections, 2008 White House campaign, $1.6 billion was spent for the campaign, and that was just the official money. The unofficial money is still being counted for. And for the whole Senate of United States, $5 billion were spent. Now, how can a poor man compete in this way? How can he say, yeah, I want to be president? If he has all the characteristics, how can he be president? Then comes, he takes loan from different organizations, then when he becomes a leader, when he becomes a president, he owes his position to those organizations and he becomes a slave to those organizations. Instead of that, I give a better option, a one-man rule. A one-man rule in such a way that a philosopher king, a person who can lead the country. As they are going for theory, I am also going for theory that a philosopher king would be a very much better choice. Apart from that, let's go to another thing, that democracy, people who spoke for the topic did not mention that democracy is open, but it is not open. It is not open in the sense that politicians, when they go for the campaign, they don't mention things like budget cuts. They don't mention things like taxations. But in, let's say in one-man rule, he can directly say, okay, I'm going to implement this much percent of tax. I'm going to implement this much percent of tax. Apart from that, voting, one idiot is given the same vote as an intellectual person, and that doesn't seem right in any way. I'd like to conclude. Thank you.
Prasun, you started well, but you got muzzled up in the between. True or no?
Sir?
Do you agree or not?
True, sir. I got my points mixed up.
You got your points mixed up,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You got very confused yourself in the middle. We selected you because you had great points in the audition round. I clearly remember. And then
Sir.
you had weak stage presence. Today you have a strong stage presence, but weak contents. It's the other way around, right? And as Thandup sir said earlier to the previous contestant, you have to be very careful with the words that you use. There's no slangs allowed in the debate. It's a very formal, it's a very formal stage, and you do not make argument that anyone can contradict. For example, there are poor people who have become dictators. There are many examples around the world. So it's not to become a dictator or to win an election, you have to be a rich guy.
So they're
In
become
2008,
dictators.
President Obama, he didn't spend his money. People raised it. In democracy, a party can raise the money, and money can come from the people. Even a class 8 a student knows that. You're getting it? Right? And if
Sure.
you're in a dictator, the money doesn't come from his pocket. He robs it from the people. Right? So do not make any statements that even a class 8 can, a class 7 can contradict. It's a very clear statement. I still think you have a lot to improve. Last time you had great content. Now you have a good stage presence. Combine both, and you'll be a good debater.
Prasun, I'm with what Santosh ji has already said. At the first place, I didn't understand why did you quote Voltaire, because it does not prove your point, and the examples were also not to prove your debate. So I'm not really impressed. However, your gesture looks impressive.
I'm still waiting for the explanation of the quote. Remember at the beginning you promised.
Yes, sir. So I promise. But
Yes,
time.
that's the problem, because you need to work out your time management also, because you do get a bell, okay, or warning bell that tells you, okay, it's time for you to end your thing. So if you promise something, you're acting like a democratic person, okay? In democracy we promise a lot, but we don't do it. So you're proving your point, okay? So the warning bell is there for you to, end your speech or your debate. That means whatever you have promised to explain or promised to give, you need to do that. And another point I find in this debate, all four speakers, is you have the habit of saying they, them, countries, but you don't specify which countries. You may have to give one or two examples. I can say, I know 12 people here who gives half their salary to people, but I don't know who they are. I can say something nice, but I have nothing to back them up. So it's better to tell, give specific names or countries. If you're saying countries, give specific names. You said a poor person has, never been. Santosh said there has been. So you should give not the poor person, but if you can give names, okay, you should give names. That gives you a more stronger argument. Okay?
Sir.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
It's not that difficult. This is not a very difficult judging today, like compared to the other groups. It's just 4 of you, and you showed a clear variation in your presentation. So we're hoping to keep all of you, but we'll have to let one go. And so, Dava, we would like to wish you good luck. You try for the next year. You can debate. Your audition was very good, and so don't get discouraged, right? Try very hard, practice, and come back again next year, right? So the rest of 3 of you are selected for the next round, and Prasun, you have to work very hard if you want to stay on this competition. You have 2 more rounds to go, right? So it's going to get more tough because you'll have more time to debate, right?
Very confident, and I just wish for best.
I think the advice I can give you all is, please, facts, not fiction. Okay, debating is facts. So please keep that on mind. And please, debater is when you argue with someone. It's not only your point of view. So whenever you're debating, please, there has to be an argument. he said that, or my opponent said that, this, that. You know, there should be some argument. I know you prepare, but don't memorize your speeches, because that's what happens when you make a mistake. Your flow is very smooth, and you forget a point, and there goes everything. The building comes down. So try and, you know, include others' opinion also. I mean, others to not rebuttal, but to debate, okay? And then your point of view, okay? But your point has to be strong. Not, I think this country has, or I think they did, you know, because you're not class 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? I think that certain level was slightly missing. Some points were good, but, you know, you're in college. So let it be a college debate, not a school level debate, okay? Please keep that in mind, but best of luck for the future.
With this, we've come to the end of today's competition round. If you're a student studying in between grade 7 and bachelor's level, you can participate in Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2013. You can contact us at youthtya@gmail.com or call us at 425-7250 for details.